I wanted to wait until the killer was caught, and now he was, which is good. Great, he deserves it. What's funny is that his father turned him in, which is kind of crazy. I'm pretty sure his father saw the $100,000 and said, "You know what? That is mine. Hey son, goodbye. By the way, this is the killer who killed Charlie Cook." Boom, there he is, right? And that's kind of crazy. That's good, but it's good that he's caught. He's getting what he deserves, and hopefully he gets the death penalty. And I'm right, he is getting the death penalty right now. But what I do want to talk about today is obviously what a lot of people are talking about today, and it's the freaking tragedy, the assassination of Charlie Cook. Um, Now, my opinion on this is kind of like any other normal person. Shouldn't have happened. I don't think this should have happened. I'm not cheering his death like some other crazy people online or in person. You know, I actually do feel bad that he got assassinated. I think what now I know that people disagree with Charlie Cook. I am some of those people. I disagree with him. I disagree with him sometimes. I agree with him sometimes, and sometimes I'm just neutral with him. Again, I think he says some good things. I think he says some absolutely just heinous crap that probably he should have kept to himself, right? But this is a political advocate figure. He is a right wing figure in the political spectrum or political space, you can say. And he got assassinated because he was just spewing his opinions. All Charlie Cook was doing was just debating. He was just going to universities, debating college students, hopefully, changing their minds, or maybe he can learn something, which I don't think he really does. And, conversing without using any violence, just shooting his opinions out. A lot of people like to get their opinions out online, but he wanted to do it, in a more personal way. So he, did some debates. He wanted to talk to college students, hopefully change their opinions, hopefully maybe agree or disagree on some things, and that's all he did, probably, right? But that shouldn't, you know, equal to him getting assassinated. That shouldn't have happened. Period. He should not have got assassinated for that. Yes, he says hate crap. Yes, he says some interesting, he has some interesting beliefs. But that doesn't result in someone getting absolutely assassinated. It shouldn't. Period. End of story. It shouldn't happen. And that's kind of crazy. It's kind of like a wake up call to a certain extent. I might even say that Charlie Cook's assassination is a big wake up call to America. Well, you know, even if you say your opinions or like unpopular opinions, in public, you can get resulted into just freaking getting shot and killed. Because that's what they are. That's what people do. If you don't agree with them, boom, they might just kill you. Like, it's disgusting. It is. And I know about what happened, this week. Again, this week was in an insane week, right? It's Friday now, September 12th. Yesterday was Heroes Day, also known as 9/11 Day. And September 10th was when he got assassinated. Also, there was a school shooting that happened that day, which is crazy. Like, again, school shootings have gotten so normalized in America, people just start to disregard them from happening, and they want to focus more on Charlie Cook's death. Again, America shouldn't normalize school shootings, right? People should be way more aware of school shootings, because that shouldn't be a thing that's happening in America. But it's so normalized that people are like almost not even talking about it that much. So I have to like tell some of my friends and family members that, oh, by the way, a school shooting happened that day, not just Charlie Cook's death. And it makes sense, because we're talking about we're talking about an assassination on a political figure compared to a school shooting, which happens a lot in America. And if you know shock value, like, people, they'll probably want to focus more on the assassination on a political politician or political advocate, because that doesn't really happen that much compared to a school shooting. It sounds weird, it sounds very messed up, but that's what I think is happening. And that's why I don't think a lot of people are talking about that school shooting, because it's so normalized, so they're talking about Charlie Cook, right? And a lot of other things happened this week. It's crazy. And there's also supposed to be like a Nintendo Direct today. I'm not gonna watch it. Freaking, you think I'm gonna watch that crap? No, I'm not watching it. So, it's scary to say that America is a very dangerous place. It is. Even just shooting your opinions, unpopular or not, just talking about your opinions in a public space is very scary now, because that can result in these crazy lunatics trying to kill you because of those political opinions that you have or beliefs that you have, and it's scary. It is. It's really, really scary. Like, these freaking mentally ill lunatics will just do that to you. Like, man, I know that, being a freaking far right person or being a conservative in 2025 is kind of crazy. Like, you might have to, like, freaking hold yourself back being conservative. It's, very hard it is, and, but even just having those opinions can result in you just getting assassinated. And that's what happened to Charlie Kirk. I am so done with that. And I feel bad for his family, his wife, his 2 children that he could have spent his entire life with, but well, not no more. He's just dead. That's all, and it shouldn't have happened. I kept in touch with it on Twitter. I saw the video of him getting shot, freaking all angles because everybody was recording that debate. So I saw left, right, center, on top, on the roof, like it was everywhere. I saw it. It's disturbing. I didn't know that much blood can come out of a human from the neck. But that's just what arteries are because of your heart. That's what like most of the blood is. So that's what happened. It's disturbing. It was. It should not have happened. Again, people who celebrate his death are lunatics. They are. They're crazy people. Like, you shouldn't be celebrating this and whatsoever. Or say, oh, free the killer. Free him. We don't want to. It's no. Like, no normal person is like that unless you're super far left or you just don't really care, because since they don't have the same opinions as you do, then they don't really matter, right? And he was advocating his right for free speech. He had the First Amendment right to talk about his political opinions, because that's all he did. Free speech on it, right? But I guess he can't really free speech no more because, he just got shot. So it's sad. And these be the same people who advocate for free speech as well. So it's kind of, there's some sort of like hypocrisy that's going on, which is kind of crazy to me. It is. Like, oh, jeez. And it's horrible. It is. Like, America is a very violent country. It is. Like, I made a video talking about, like, how America has gotten so violent, and I might just bring it up here again because, like, what happened this couple of weeks was, like, a big, like, wake-up. And I like to make this analogy, basically, that I live by, where you are in your house. You are not completely safe in your house because there's a chance that people can break into your house and kill you, right? So you're not 100% safe in your house. I would say you're probably 80%, maybe even 85% safe in your house, right? The moment that you step outside your door, the moment you open that door and you step 1 foot out that door, you are immediately in danger. You are. Like, that's how dangerous America is. I know that there's other countries that are way more dangerous than America, but I'm saying, like, here in America, once you step out that door, you are in enemy territory. There is a chance that someone can just come up to you and stab you and freaking run away, like actual Assassin's Creed crap. Like, that can happen to you. And it can happen anywhere. For example, it can happen at school. It can happen during a freaking political debate. It can happen anywhere. And it's sad. And the big reason why we get a lot of these is because of how America is. America is a very diverse country. And you don't know how lucky we are in America that we are allowed to have different people, like different races of people. We're allowed to have different beliefs, political beliefs. We have people here in America that are conservative, liberal, socialist, communist, all the above. We have different races of people from all around the world. We have different religious beliefs around the world. Here in America, you're allowed to have that because America is a free country. That is what is meant by America. It's a free country. And when you have a lot of different people in one area, they're not always going to agree with each other. They're not. That's just what America is. Again, if you were to go to a country where everybody's just the same exact, actual, like, totalitarianism type country, I'm going to imagine that the people aren't really going to fight each other. Most likely they're going to fight, the government. That's what's happening in Nepal right now. But they're not going to go against each other. They're going to go against probably the government because they're tired of it, right? Because most likely they have the same political beliefs. They have the same, political beliefs, quotation. They have the same, they have the same religious beliefs. They have probably the same race. Like, that's what it is. But here in America, we're all different. And when a lot of people have different things going on, there's just bound to be a lot of disagreements. And usually, here in America, there was also a lot of crazy people here. So when those crazy people have, different beliefs than normal people, guess what the crazy people are gonna do? That's what's happening right now, and that's why I believe that we should really be careful here. That's the price of freedom here in America. I'm not saying that we should go freaking full on authoritarianism, freaking was it like swastika, Nazi type, government fascist crap. I'm saying that that's just the price of freedom. I love being here in America. I love it. And a lot of people can agree because people wouldn't illegally migrate here because if they hate America, they want to come to America because of what it is. But that's the price of freedom. And it's scary. It is. This is when freedom can get scary. I don't want to really talk about that no more. But again, it's just sad that this had to happen. It is. I know there was so many other problems out there that are way more important than this. I know. A lot of things happened this week. A lot of things are happening in different countries. The Middle East, Nepal, a lot of different things are going on right now. I know. But this isn't America, right? This is my home. I mostly care about what's happening here because I'm from here. Right, and a lot of people like that. That's why people like me or like a lot of commentary people don't really want to talk about, here in America, don't really want to talk about like the Middle East problems or, what's happening in Nepal right now because honestly, they don't care. They really just don't care because it's not happening here, And there was so many riots that happened, this year when it came to, Donald Trump's presidency. Like, there was so much, like, January 6th was the thing. No Kings riots, BML, like, BLM. Like, there was so many riots that's happening here in America because of what we are as a country. And it's just sad that we're so sensitive now. Like, we're just super overly, like, ever since COVID started and we were locked in freaking, like, into NEAT mode here in our houses, and, like, after COVID ended, it's like something happened in Americans that just changed everything. Like, now people are overly sensitive. Now the LGBTQ community is super popular for some reason. Now there's a lot of things going on different. Like, there's the political space is now getting a little bit more like popular now. Like, or maybe because I'm becoming an adult, maybe that's probably why. But again, a lot of people are talking about this now. Like, that's what's going on, and it's crazy. It is. But again, rest in peace, Charlie Cook. Obviously, everything else that happened this week should just not have happened. It's a very violent week here in America. It is, and it's sad. It really is sad. Excuse me. Now I know that there were other countries. I know there were other countries out there that are far worse than America, but I'm talking about like what's happening strictly here in America. It's very violent. It really is, and even me just putting my opinions online can be very dangerous as well, and what Charlie Cook has done, doing this in front of a lot of people in a big open area is just prone for this happening. This shouldn't have happened. What he was doing is completely constitutionally right. He had every right to do that. He had every right to debate people. He had every right to do that. But there's always those people who are just too crazy that they just have to shoot him with a rifle. It's so dumb. So, I really want to talk about that today. It's just sad. It really is just sad. So, once again, rest in peace, Charlie Cook. Shouldn't have died. My thoughts and prayers go to his family and all his friends and, all the things that happened today. That school shooting, the subway thing that happened, what's going on in Nepal right now, the Middle East, what's going on there. Like, this is it. This is, if you're a biblical person, this could probably be the end of the world right now. Like, maybe the judgment day is coming. It is. I'm not really political. I'm not religious at all. But we're in Revelations. Like, we're in the final act, the final part of the Bible. So, keep that in mind. And what's going on right now is just horrifying. It really is. That's it. Thanks for watching.